All right, everybody, it's that time. It's that time to welcome a legendary actress, well known for playing the iconic role of Marianne from Gilligan's Island, and also now author with the release of her second book, What Would Marianne Do? Let's welcome to Tilly Dream Radio the one, the only, Dawn Wells. Dawn, welcome to Tilly Dream Radio. So, are you ready to go?
Sure.
Okie doke. All right. Well, I guess the big question, you have the new book out now. What Would Marianne Do? A Guide to Life. Is this something you've been thinking about doing for a while now, or was it an idea that was brought to you, or how did this come about?
Well, I was not interested in doing an autobiography. A lot of people keep asking me to do that, but it came to me several years ago with my interaction with the fans. And now you see those of you that were 12 and 13 are now 40 and raising children. And
right.
And that Marianne ethics and morality and companionship that she provided seems to be the essence of people who have been mistreated. I've had people say to me, I was abused as a child. It was my only escape. And the influence of the show is so much more than this silly little comedy. And I was very aware of the character of Marianne was really a pretty stabilizing factor. And we're losing that today a little bit. I mean, I was thinking the year we went on the air, there wasn't even birth control.
Right.
No birth control pill or anything like that. Well, my gosh, where have we gone? You couldn't show my navel. Tina couldn't show her cleavage. Now you've got Miley Cyrus. So all of this whole 50 years has changed so many things, and it must be very difficult being a parent or raising a child that you don't have much control over what they see in the media, all the stuff that seems to be influencing them. So I thought, I was raised with Marianne values, even though my mother didn't realize that, but I came from Reno, Nevada, where there was legalized gambling and divorce and prostitution, and I came from a city that you'd say, wow, why wasn't she off the charts? But we weren't. We were number one high school in the country while I was going there. My friends and I are still good friends for all these years. There was a stability of that generation, and I think Marianne and the show is part of that. And I thought there is some advice. I don't mean advice because I'm not a shrink, but there's some advice to pass on about what this character of Marianne would do if you dropped her back here right now. What would she be doing, and how would she handle it, etc. So I thought this is a cute kind of idea. I started out doing it a little bit like the quizzes you take in Cosmopolitan magazine,
right.
choice A, B, C, and D. I was trying to kind of make it kind of light. And the more I got into it, the more I realized I'm not a goody two-shoes. I mean, I'm not trying to say you have to leave a puritanical life, but there are choices you make now. And if a mom or a father can kind of read this to his daughter, we have more control as a teenager than we did before. And now the choices you make, for instance, one of my I don't know if you've read the book, but one of my things is alcohol. Well,
okay.
My father, when I was 14, said, okay, there's a cabinet over there. If you want to take a taste, take a taste. Well, he gave me a straight shot of scotch or bourbon or something that tasted god-awful. You wouldn't want to try it.
Right.
But I felt I had, Daddy, I want to see what a rum and Coke tastes like. He would have let me do it at home. Nowadays, one of the things I say is know what you're drinking. Know if it's a rum and Coke instead of punch at a fraternity house that you don't know what's in it. Same with all these drugs. You don't know what's in it. You have no control of once you've had it, where you're going. And I think it's just a little bit of kind of common sense. And I intertwine some things from the show. And I realized my mother did a good job with me. She really did. And why am I the way I am is because of those values that I was raised with. So I thought it was a kind of, and it's a light read. Have you read it?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's a light read. It's not long chapters of things. It's kind of little quizzes, and we call it the terrible twos. Are you too persistent, or are you too lazy, or are you too tired, or are you too? I mean, it's a cute book. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it, and I think it has something to say.
So, when you were writing the book, did you realize, or did you know there was a lot of Dawn in the Marianne character, or did you know that for many years?
Well, I think so, because I don't think you can do a series week after week after week after week unless you're playing a vampire or something, that you don't bring yourself to it. And there was no description of Marianne when I was cast. I wasn't a millionaire. I wasn't a movie star. I was a girl from Kansas. And what are those Kansas values? Well, you know, Mary Ann worked on a farm. I've never milked a cow, but I sure know how to cook. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of Dawn in the character of Mary Ann, of course, very much so.
What were the funnest issues in the book that you did discuss?
Well, I don't know. When I went through 4 writers before I found the right one, co-writers. I don't type. I don't use a computer, so it would have taken me 20 years to write it myself. But I was connected with a writer that has done some children's books, and he's got my voice. I mean, we would start laughing. I said, no, it's not the way we do this. This is the way I do this. But I don't know that there was anything exceptional that I discovered something about myself in writing it. One of the things I talked about as I was growing up, I was a debater. And I was a debater probably 8th and 9th grade. They'd kind of show you that. I was never interested in acting.
Really?
I wanted to be a pediatric surgeon. I love medicine and science. But when I was doing debate, I mean, if you've ever debated, let's say the subject is abortion, and you prepare both sides, pro and against, and you don't know which one you're going to do till you go for the competition. That's the way I look at life, and I realized that as I was in the middle of the book. Oh, that's why I am the way I am, kind of. So it kind of made me think about what you do those junior high and high school years are kind of important. You know, maybe you're a great tennis player, and that's what you go on to do. I couldn't do any athletics because my knee's dislocated. So that's why I went to the speech and that kind of stuff. And I think that kind of instilled in me who I am, and I think I brought that to the book because I don't know what your question was. I've rambled so long. I've lost the train of thought.
No, I had asked what were some of your best topics or the most fun topics you did discuss in the books for yourself.
Well, I don't know if you'd call them fun. I just kind of went down by the things that made me who I am. Manners, ethics, work ethic. It's not work theory, it's work ethic. I mean, you really have to come in on time, blah, 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 sense of responsibility, how you treat other people, etiquette. Etiquette isn't which fork. It's opening the door for somebody that's older than you are, that kind of thing. And I think that's all. The whole thing was fun for me. I don't think there's a chapter that stands out.
Don't you think it's scary, though? Like, as I hear you saying them things, it's like I'm saying to myself, well, that's just a lot of common sense that, you know, our parents should have instilled in us, but the fact that a lot of people don't have that common sense or those ethics is pretty scary.
And you know what I think part of it is, and I don't think it's necessarily the parents' fault. I think it's our world today. For instance, I mean, I came from a divorced home. My mother and father were divorced when I was 4. They were best friends. My stepmother, I go visit my dad in Las Vegas, here we go again. And she'd say, Dawn's getting a cold, Evelyn, what are we going to do? It was a common bond in raising me. And I didn't hear bad words about anybody on either side. Today, there's so many multiple families. There's divorce all the time. Both parents have to work because the economy is so hard. And there's multiracial. There's other languages now. There's fear now that didn't exist when I grew up. So it's much more difficult. And I don't know, family time is much harder. All of that time is much harder, although I didn't come from a perfect family. But now I realize what the parents did to make it more Donna Reed. You know, I mean, I think that it's much more difficult today. I had a little experience. I was doing an autograph show in some big barbecue place in Kentucky where they were all competing for barbecue sauces, et cetera. And I was doing autographs, and a young girl came and sat next to me. She was about 13, and I have never seen such a beautiful child. She took my breath away. It's one of those things that God created, this angel. Whoa. And I said to her, I took a hold of her hands, and I said, can I say something to you? And she said, sure. I said, just say no. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, everybody's going to be asking something from you. Little boys can't help it. Commercial people can't help it. Everybody's going to be coming after you for something. Start out by saying no. And her eyes got kind of wide, and she said, my mom kind of talks about that. And we had a really nice little discussion. And about 30 minutes later, her mother came back and gave me a hug. She said, thank you. Well, you know, sometimes hearing it from somebody else. But that child, if you didn't have a parent that had time to spend with her, who knows where she may go because she's vulnerable. So I guess, I don't know, and I'm not a mother, so I probably have no influence whatsoever. but I had a half brother and sister that I helped raise because my father died when they were 13, and I was in love with a man that I didn't live with, but who I helped raise his children. So I really do feel I've had experience in raising children, not day in and day out. But I think my phone's about to go. I hope not. Can I give you another number? Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find the other, because I hear a little beep beep. It's not. Is that you? Are you beeping?
No, I'm not beeping.
You have. Oh my goodness. Let me give you my cell phone just in case. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Or 818-422-8651. Just in case you could take a music break or something. I can't find the other headpiece.
Now, I mean, you seem like you have a lot of advice to offer. Did you ever think about doing, like, an advice column?
No, and somebody else mentioned that to me. Remember Ann Landers? And I said, yes, I do. Why don't you do an Ask Marianne? And I wouldn't know the faintest idea how to do it, but it would be kind of fun, and I don't know where you'd market it. But I've had that mentioned to me in the last 2 or 3 months, actually.
There's got to be a way.
How would you do that? How would you do that? I don't know.
In this internet world, there's got to be an outlet for it somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up again. I'd kind of forgotten it. I think that's a good idea. However, I'm not a therapist. I don't have children. Why would anybody listen to me? But I brought so much to that character. It wasn't in the writing. Marianne didn't sit down and say, we all shared in not bullying Gilligan. We all made sure that the skipper was on a diet. It was a kind of a common village that had to cohabit, and isn't that just what this world is all about?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's also it's kind of scary. I mean, you guys are celebrating this month 50th anniversary of Gilligan's Island.
I know.
Did you ever think did you ever think after all these years it would still be living on and so iconic as it has become?
Well, as the years went on, I was very aware of, I've been recognized in the Solomon Islands where there's no running water and no electricity, and the chief's wife said, I know you. I've been in Beijing in the gift shop. They're going, Marianne, Marianne. I realize now that it's been all over the world, but we never thought we'd even get residuals. Well, we never got residuals. Sherwood Schwartz made $90 million, but we didn't get a dime. But we never thought it would go on. And now that I look at it, there's no clothes or cars. Some kid in France looking at it for the first time thinks it's happening today. There's nothing that tells you it's not now.
Right. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, all the other shows are all pretty dated.
Right.
But we weren't. Leonard, do you know where this other phone thing is? This is about to die, and I can't find the other phone. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that looking back now on the 50th year and doing this book has made me recall all this. I've gone on with my life, and it's kind of a memory, and I get recognized and so on. But when the fans come up to you and really open their hearts, it shows you something. There's a reason that 40-year-old man can talk to you this way.
Right. You've always seemed to embrace the character too, not like some people who might regret like having that one role that they're always remembered for. You've always seemed to embrace it.
Well, yes. My gosh, it was a wonderful, how wonderful to be identified with something so nice, and how wonderful to have a steady job for 3 years at that day and age. And I was lucky to get the part. And why would you bad rap it? Turn it down if you don't want to be there.
Right.
I get so angry. I remember Pernell Roberts was just bad rapping Bonanza after a while, and I thought, who were you before that? Maybe a Shakespearean actor, but you might never have been that popular all over the world. So I'm blessed. Yes, I can do a lot of other things, Lion in Winter and other plays and things that I can say, aha, I've really got the meat into it. But I might never have ever had the recognition or the accolades or the love from the public, and
right.
You can't fight that. It's a joy.
Absolutely. Now, how about the infinite question, Ginger or Marianne? Do you get tired of hearing that?
Well, I don't, because I always win. I don't mean other people always say, well, Marianne was my favorite. Well, of course, if you're a 14-year-old boy, Ginger was too sophisticated for you. But that, I don't think, happened until we went into the reruns. I don't think that happened during the show, really. And it's just kind of magnified, I guess you have to make a choice, Professor or Gilligan, and that would be an easy choice, wouldn't it?
Now, is it true that you're going to auction off the shorts? Did I hear that
right?
Yes,
my shorts are going on auction. I don't have children, so I'm thinking, what am I going to do with it? Someone's going to go through a trunk and say, what are these old things? So since it's the 50th anniversary, I thought, well, this is a great celebration. So they go. Profiles in History is the auction house, and it goes on. I think it goes into the catalogs and stuff. The auction's middle of October, but I think end of September it all starts.
Wow. That's,
I didn't try them on. It would have been wonderful to see if I could still wear them.
That's a piece of iconic TV history right there.
Yes, first shorts ever on television, and we had to cover my navel. I helped design them. I made a little sort of rise at where my tummy was, so it would kind of cover the navel, and then dip down on the side so my waist would look smaller. all that illusion. But you couldn't, and Sherwood would be called to the set 2 or 3 times a week between Ginger's cleavage and my navel. I think you could only show it for 30 seconds or something like that. He was always calling in and saying, we got to reshoot this because we got a glimpse.
Wow. Yeah. Now, it's scary because, you mentioned early on about Miley Cyrus, and look how things have changed from then to today.
And I didn't mean to use her. For some reason, the name just came. But everything. I mean, everything. You're looking at topless things and stuff on television. How you monitor your child, I don't know. There was no temptation where we were.
It's tough. It's scary.
Are you a dad? Are you a dad?
Yes, I have a stepson and I have 2 of my own daughters, and it's scary. Like, I'm scared to let my kids out of the house.
Well, and I'll tell you, being a dad, it's real important to talk to them. They need to hear the male point of view, that you don't believe your mother after you're 13. Oh, Mom, that mother-daughter stuff is a little tougher. But it's very important to have an open relationship with I could have told my father anything. My mother knew where I was every single second, even when I was 65 coming back from the Solomon Islands. A pilot walked down the airport and he said, "Aren't you Dawn Wells? Your mother's been looking for you all day." And I got home and thought, how could she be? Was she calling the tower? How would she find me? But she did. She knew what I was doing, so I knew my limits. And I thought, why didn't I sneak out or get drunk or any of that? Because I had a respect. But I could tell my father anything. If I had a problem, I'd have gone to my dad.
Wow.
So it's real important, Papa, to keep that communication going.
Absolutely. Now, how about now, myself, I can't swim. So if I was in like an actor and I was going up for a role for a show where there was a boat involved or something like that, I'd be like, my first question would be, do I have to get in the water? Do I have to swim?
Do I have to swim?
Did you ever have?
I can understand that. But we were never in the water. Gilligan got thrown in a couple times, but we were never. I was in the lagoon, I guess, swimming with a fishing pole attached to me. But no, we were never in the water. That's a good point. I did a lot of westerns when I first came to LA because I was under option to Warner Brothers, and I did all the Mavericks and stuff. And I rode horses. And they said, "Can you drive a buck wagon?" I said, "Sure, I can." Well, I thought I could, till the horses ran away. And I had an 80-year-old actor sitting next to me, had a hard time bringing those horses in. So I thought, boy, be careful what you say next time.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I also saw that you're also going to be appearing at the Chiller Theater Convention in New Jersey, end of October.
Yes, I've done Chiller before. It's quite an experience.
Oh, it's an experience, definitely.
Yeah, I'm coming back again this year.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm going to stop by and say hello because I'll be there.
Oh, please do, because I'd love to shake hands with your voice. You never get a chance to know who you're talking to. I would love that.
Yeah, that would be great. That would definitely be great. So, all right, so the book is out. What Would Marianne Do? A Guide to Life, and it's available at Avalon, Amazon, which I think Amazon owns the world anymore.
Yep.
Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, which will be doing some appearances at Barnes and Nobles. You'll be at September 17th at Barnes & Nobles in New York on Warren Street.
And I'm on the Today Show, and you can also get the book at dawnwells.com on my website.
Oh,
there you go. And if you come through my website and tell me, would you like it personalized, I can do that with the autograph and send it back. Either way, any way you want to buy it, it's just fine. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Well, I think going to your website's the best bet because I'd rather have it personalized.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice. And, of course, Christmas is coming up. It's a great gift.
Absolutely.
It's a nice little present. And it's only $500. No, I'm teasing. I can sell one book to my mother. That's about it.
One book. Well, in that case, then you'd have to cut the shorts. Then you'd have to cut like a piece of the shorts and put a piece of shorts in each book you sell.
Oh, boy, I'd have to shred them almost practically. Yeah. Well, and the denim was a real soft denim. I mean, it was denim material, but not like the stiff stuff that they have today.
Going back to the shorts real quick, when the whole thing exploded, years later, Daisy Duke had her shorts, and then they became known as Daisy Dukes. Did you think, where's the credit that I get? Where are the Mary Anns?
No, I hadn't even thought of that. Maybe we ought to start a whatever you call it, demonstration. No, I never thought about that. And I designed them. I mean, I really knew my body, and I wanted the zipper, and I wanted it tapered so it would, fit instead of belting it, etc. I don't think I'd even look good in Daisy Dukes. I don't think my legs are long enough. The Daisy Dukes are a little bit longer. They're kind of like men's briefs. No, jockey shorts. No, what do you call those things? Not the briefs, not the jockey shorts. The other ones, boxers. They're kind of about the length of boxers a little bit, and I don't think my legs are long enough. I was pretty tiny next to Ginger. She was so tall and slim and long legs.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, yeah, I think we'll have to start the rebellion. You deserve your due. You were the first one, the Mary Anns.
We should have manufactured them because shorts are really in this year. I should have designed them and put them on the market.
Now you have to get the jump for next summer.
That's right. I'm ready.
Well, Dawn, I want to thank so much for taking some time out of your day. I wish you a lot of luck with the book. Everybody, remember, go to Dawn Wells. It's DawnWells.com, correct?
DawnWells.com. That's it.
There you go.
Yep.
Order the book, and she can personalize it for you. What would Mary Ann do? A guide to life. And she has great advice, so listen to her tips, and, she'll make your life better.
Aren't you sweet? Well, make sure we say hello so I know who you are when you come by, okay?
I definitely will. Hey, real quick, can I just get you to cut an ID for me and just say this is Dawn Wells? You're listening to Totally Driven Radio?
Should I say Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island or just Dawn Wells?
You can say both if you want.
Yeah, I will. Sure, just tell me when.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is Dawn Wells. Well, you may know me as Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island. You are listening to Totally Driven Radio. Lucky you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. That was great.
You're welcome, and I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. I'll see you next month.
Okie doke. Take care.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.